I'm going to take a break from making these videos now. I will just leave it here by saying that that is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who small town bullshit people who are like that, if you know, and just and this is what they do. And they're lying about you. And it gets even worse because they know by now that you are able to talk about them in a way that exposes what they do. So now they're feeling guilty, or they're understanding their guilt. Excuse me. Excuse me. And it gets even worse because now it's, oh, don't listen to him. He's crazy. And this is how these people operate in the first place. It's he's crazy. He's crazy. What's he gonna do? What has he done? Blah 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 blah. You should fear him. You should be afraid of him. Did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? They're hicks. These people are like Ladysmith, small town hicks on a grand scale. They're just like they're like England Northerners, but they're mean. These people are rural hicks, but they're mean and they're racist and they're stupid. And today's the first day that I'm quitting smoking, and it's a perfect day to talk about some rednecks, I'll tell you, because this is exactly the way that I need to feel to get this out of me. I need to be mad to talk about these people. I hate them. I hate them. And I'll tell you, it's because of what I said in the last video. I tipped off talking about how these people, they talk to everybody and they get everybody to work for them. My lawyer, who was supposed to be working for me, was working for these redneck cops. The doctor at the hospital was lying for these redneck cops. Child Services just blatantly came into the courthouse and just basically flipped me the middle finger and just basically told the judge, I'm working for the cops. This guy is going to forfeit his family to us. And the judge was just, okay. And this is the shit that you have to deal with in Calgary. These people are fucking nuts. And that's not even the beginning. These people are following me around on the street. When I was in that prison, they had every single inmate in that unit. When I was in there, not my 2008 account, they threw me in there in 2017 again. They threw me in that jail again with more bullshit. And they put me in there for 9 months. Same thing, bullshit. And the whole time I was in there, they had this problem of me getting found not guilty. Because I talk and I use lawyers for what they're supposed to be used for. Your job, their job. Help me get out of this mess and talk to me and let's talk and let's get out of this mess somehow. Let's figure this out somehow. And that's what I do. And they know this about me. So what they did when I was in that remand center was they had these inmates harassing me, telling me to just cooperate with my lawyer, telling me which crooked lawyer to hire. Telling me which crooked lawyer to hire, the lawyer who's working for the cops. Hire this guy, hire that guy. Because all these inmates, what? There's no code of honor or something like that. These guys are gonna, you know, and besides that, it's not like I'm one of them and I'm some kind of a thug or something. These guys want out of jail. They want good deals from the Crown Council, and they're being told that I'm molesting children at the fucking swimming pool. So these guys are all fucking with me in this unit and telling me which crooked lawyer to hire, telling me to cooperate with whatever the Crown Council wants, and that's what they did. You have to stop smoking marijuana. You have to stop telling your lawyers that you want to use marijuana as a medicine. You have to stop doing that. This is the fucking inmates telling me all this shit. And they don't care. They don't care if I know what they're doing. Why should they care? They're being told to do something, so they're doing it, so that they can get out of jail. And so these cops had this whole bloody unit doing this to me because that's how much they cared about winning. And not just about winning, but that's how much they cared about protecting their doctor, who was lying his ass off about me lighting the hospital on fire, which happens to be made out of cement, which these cops threw me into this jail. I have to get, I don't know if I should get into all of this now. Is this the time to get into this? In 2017, these cops, I was having a panic attack because one of these redneck Calgarian freaks, one of these hillbillies, threw a cart in my house and was threatening me and my kid. So I started to have a panic attack because I have anxiety. And when stuff happens to me, I get really upset. And so I started walking down the street to get some fresh air, and I started talking to these people about how I think I'm having I think I'm having a heart attack. I felt like my heart was going to explode. And they said, we'll call you an ambulance, and the ambulance shows up, and the ambulance attendant checks me to see if I'm having a heart attack. He tells me I'm fine, my vitals are fine. It's just a panic attack. I tried to explain to him what happened, and I made the mistake of telling him that the police might need to be told about this. And I wanted to talk to the police, but he didn't care about any of that. He's just ignoring me, and he's just reading his laptop, and he's just looking at my criminal history. He's looking at the sexual assault charge got dismissed 9 years earlier, and he's just looking at me like a redneck hillbilly looks at you when he sees that you're different, or you have a criminal record, or there's some reason to hate you. And this is what he's doing. This fucking ambulance attendant. EMS. Anyway. The police tell him to hold me there. And when the police show up, there's a dozen of them to check on this complaint that just some citizen, I'm just some citizen. Bullshit. They sent 12, I'm not just some citizen, I have a criminal record. And I'm the guy who didn't get convicted in 2008 of their bullshit sexual assault charge. they send a dozen cops and 5 cop cars onto my street to stand there harassing me in front of all of the neighbors. I'm debating whether or not this story should have been told right now, because I'm jumping all the way to 2017. And 2017 is not the beginning of this police harassment since that 2008 debacle. This is 9 years later. This is after 9 years of abuse and harassment by these pricks. But I'm just telling this story now because it was coming out. 2017, panic attack. Me and my daughter threatened. EMS. Police. I get pissed off at these cops who are just... they're there to give me... they're there to harass me, which I know. Because I didn't want to contact the police or have them come. I was just having a panic attack and worried about... I was confused, because how do you not report something when your kid's being threatened? You're in a situation where you have to tell these guys, these pricks, what happened. But it was all a I mean, you just want to move. You just want to leave the city, but you don't have time to think. So you tell this ambulance attendant this, and he's told to contain you. This guy was containing me. This ambulance attendant wouldn't let me leave to go to my house. He wouldn't let me get in my car. He was told by these cops to detain me. So right there you can see that it's just because of my name that I'm harassed by the cops. If they hear my name, they're going to harass me. Right? So this ambulance attendant is detaining me. Some redneck prick. Some big giant oafy goof. And I can't get in my car. So what I do is I tell him, look, I'm just going to get a few things from my house. And he lets me go get into my house. But not my car. And so I pack up a couple of little computers and some flash drives and a phone and all this stuff just in case that these jerks send me to jail. Because the guy's obviously detaining me. He's obviously holding me until the police come. And I know the police are on their way. So I'm getting ready to go to jail. And I gathered up my valuables in case they wouldn't be safe in my house while I was in jail. And the cops came and they took me to jail. And the way that it happened was like this. They showed up and they just stood there staring at me like a bunch of dummies and asking me stupid questions and asking me, how crazy I am or just whatever kind of crap. And I tried explaining to them that, me and my daughter had been threatened and that there's this card. And I don't know who it is, but maybe we can go to the station and I can just file a report. And this guy just didn't want to hear any of this stuff. He's just standing there like a dummy and accusing me of... Okay, so I gotta end this video. It's coming up to 15 minutes. So I'll have to... I quit smoking today. I had limited cigarettes yesterday. Today's my first day with no cigarettes. It's not a good time to be talking, but at the same time, it's a good time to be talking about what the hell was happening to me in Calgary all these years. So I'll have to finish off this 2017 story, and then I won't even be able to finish it off because I got to backtrack from 2008 until 2017 and then get back into the 2017 to 2019. But we'll just leave it off with the police show up on my street, 2017.